What is up, guys? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Come on in, hit the thumbs up. Let's talk about it. We got a wild one. Well, Scott Roeder will be joining me. I don't know if it's going to be today on this live, if it'll be a little bit later, if it'll be tomorrow. But Scott Roeder said, Lana, you know that you're going to love this, but I think Luigi is not guilty. I said, oh boy, here we go. You know, that's pretty impressive because Scott and I have difference of opinions on a lot of cases. Some cases we have the same opinion on, but you know, when he wants to dial me up and say, hey, Luigi is not guilty, I said, damn. I said, that's interesting. So, come on in. Let's talk about Dane Elkins. Dane Elkins. Here we go. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to share this on my stream, so the cops are coming for all of us. There we go. I want to take a look at something.
Hi there, I'm Marnie Hughes in Chicago. I've got a missing case to share with you. This is Dane Elkins. This month marks 4 years since Dane vanished, 21 years old at the time of his disappearance. Dane was studying engineering at UC Santa Cruz at the time. He's also got a black belt in karate, and he's a racquetball champion. Dane's mom has given us never before seen video of him. This is the day he vanished.
Another thing that the CIA does, so they recruit you, right? And if you don't want to do whatever they want you to do, then they kill you.
Dane's mom says he is a funny family guy who loves making music videos with his siblings. She says she started noticing him change during the pandemic. He became reclusive and paranoid. On December 2020, he called his mom and said that he wasn't coming home. His car was then found, his wallet, his cell phone, his computer were all still inside, but there's been no sign of Dane. His mom, Deborah, determined to find out exactly what happened to him and get him home. She's gained a lot of attention and thousands of followers on social media, especially TikTok. People are invested in helping her. One person saying, I really hope you find him. I think about him often. Someone else posting, I am in Santa Cruz every weekend, so I'll search. If you've got information that can help in the search for Dane Elkins, contact the Los Angeles Police Department. Dane is 5'11", about 170 pounds, green eyes.
Whoa. Last seen, April 16th, 2022, Santa Cruz, California. Look at them eyebrows. Look at that jaw. Look at those eyes. What is going on here? This, I'm telling you, the past couple years has been the era of the bush, the bushy brows. I mean, wow.
Eyes and brown hair.
Okay, so next up. Let's see. Next up for you guys. Okay, so I want to look at right here. Okay.
That's his paranoia. He is off the grid. He left everything behind, including his passport, his driver's license, his wallet, his car. So he is completely untraceable. So if there's anybody out there that knows where my son is, they can end my nightmare and my family's nightmare and the community's nightmare.
He could be anywhere, but let's pinpoint some of the most recent possible sightings. When and where do you believe he was last seen and encountered?
So Dane's car found abandoned on the highway. The car had a flat tire with wallet, phone, and keys still inside. Okay. So when they say flat tire, was it a flat tire because it had like a pop in it? You know what I mean? Or did it have was it just flat as in someone just let the air out? Why would anybody leave their wallet, phone, and keys still inside their vehicle when going to get help? Or if they were waiting to get help, then somebody snatched them up?
So the credible sightings went from Bakersfield to Mojave to Oakdale / Modesto. They're very close to each other. And the last possible sighting is Santa Cruz. Credible sighting that I believe is credible. So even though he told two different sets of witnesses that he's going to Oregon, he is probably hidden away in a small town in Northern California. That's just me guessing. He could be in New York. He could be in Ohio. He could be in Kentucky. He could be anywhere in the U.S. or Mexico.
Oh my God, she says Ohio. He could be in Ohio. Why say Ohio? Where else? Wait, what did she just say? This would be, you guys, April 2022. I'm just throwing this out there, but the Idaho 4 murders hadn't happened yet. So
small town in Northern California. That's just me guessing. He could be in New York. He could be in Ohio. He could be in Kentucky. He could be anywhere in the U.S. or Mexico. But I really think he's in Northern California.
We've seen his picture. It's been now 4 years, so he may have changed a little bit. Any other distinguishing factors about his appearance that folks should be on the lookout for?
Has these beautiful green eyes. Everybody that's seen him says he's good looking and he looks out of place. So he may be taking care of himself and he may look good. I do get a ton of homeless pictures that don't look anything like him. I get pictures that look like him. So I am getting all the pictures. And I'm really grateful to everybody for sending them in, but I have not got one of Dane.
Yeah. You have gone, Deborah, to amazing lengths to create a social media persona, and you've gained a lot of followers in the process and support. You've got 111,000 followers on TikTok. In fact, celebrity Rosie O'Donnell joined your group once, and you recently connected with the Gabby Petito family, Gabby's mom, Nicole, and also her stepfather. Tell me about these discussions with these other families and even Rosie O'Donnell getting involved.
So I help other families when I know I can. I help the person looking for their missing loved one. And so I was helping a sister to find her brother, Brian. Her name's Bethany, and her brother, Brian, is missing. And I was helping her, and I told her, you need to come to TikTok. I will show you how to have these boxes I called kindness boxes. So she is now on TikTok last night with kindness boxes. And when she went into the kindness boxes of Gabby Petito's mom and dad, Nicole Schmidt, and the dad, the stepdad, she invited me into their kindness boxes, told them to bring me up. And they had me up with my poster. And that moment.
Okay, so I want to go back over here. I want the video that we just did, or they just showed. Right here.
Dane is talking about the CIA, and in a moment we're going to show you the video.
Why is he talking about the CIA? Why is he talking about the CIA?
And you'll also hear from Dane's mom with an update on the search for him. First, though, we have a few other missing cases on our radar to share with you. The father of missing teen Sebastian Rogers says that he has
You guys,
overturned a kayak in a Wisconsin lake.
This case I was telling you guys about really quick. This is the guy that was the kayaker that, faked his death so he could run off and be with his new woman overseas, I believe, or wherever the heck she's from. He actually came back. So, because his family was looking for him, and the cops actually were the ones that came to the conclusion that he faked his own death, which I thought was pretty sweet, way to do your jobs. Then he comes back. Now they're deciding on what, they're going to, if he's going to be in any type of trouble.
He then reached out to authorities last month, indicating that he was, in fact, alive. He could now be charged with obstructing the investigation into his disappearance. He vanished. This month marks 4 years since Dane mysteriously disappeared. His car and belongings.
Oh, I want that picture right there. Right there.
$1,000 on the search and rescue. Now to this week's featured case, Dane Elkins, an engineering student from California.
Engineering.
Never before seen video giving us some insight into Dane's mindset the day he vanished. This month marks 4 years.
Look at that. You guys. Look at that. Who does that look like to you? I think I know who that looks like to me. Who does that look like to you guys? Look at that nose. Look at them brows. Look at this. Look at this. Looks like the freaking CEO shooter. Okay. Scott Roeder hits me up yesterday. He's like, you're going to love this one because I think Luigi's innocent. I said, what? He said, not guilty. Not guilty. Also, he looks like he could freaking be the Idaho 4 killer. I'm not even playing. Okay. But talking about the CIA, I don't know.
Since Dane mysteriously disappeared, his car and belongings found along a mountain highway. His mom believes that he had a psychotic break and that he could be living somewhere within the homeless community. She has gone to extraordinary lengths to keep Dane's story alive in the media and on social media, becoming known as the kindness mom, in hopes that the kindness of strangers will bring Dane home. She will join us in a moment, but first, Dane's story is a reminder for everyone about how mental illness can strike
right there,
anywhere and anyone, and the lengths to which families sometimes go.
I mean, these two look like spitting images of each other. Look at this. What do you guys think of this? This is wild. Look at this. Now, if you go and you take, so let me go and grab this other one. This is nuts. Okay. They claim that his eye color is green, I think. His eye color would be green. But look at that smile. Okay. Look at that chin, you know. So I'm just like, wait a second. This is wild. He's been missing.
For answers.
He talks about the CIA. Same thing with Sirhan. I mean, come on.
Another thing that the CIA does, so they recruit you, right? And if you don't want to do whatever they want you to do, then they kill you.
What?
Footage of Dane Elkins, the day he disappeared, his last social media post.
Yeah, I just figured going public with this was crazy. They gave me a passport.
He did one last Snapchat and
they gave me a passport.
told us that the government was after him and our family. That is when we knew something was really wrong.
On December 21st, 2020,
Wait.
Dane
We need to talk about his, did he ever have a history of this?
called his mom from the highway, saying it wasn't safe to come home.
One of the last things Dane said to me was, "It's not safe, Mom. Your life is in danger, Mom. There's targets on you and there's more targets on Dad."
Police found Dane's car along a mountainous section of highway. A flat tire, his wallet, cell phone, and computer still inside.
He left everything traceable in his car.
Before he vanished, Elkins was a 21-year-old engineering student at UC Santa Cruz, a black belt in karate, and a racquetball champion, winning 23 junior national titles in both doubles and singles competition. His coach, Cliff Swain.
That was an amazing pleasure to work with him. True gentleman, amazing manners, super hard worker.
Off the court, the funny family guy making silly music videos with his siblings.
His family meant everything to him. They weren't just his siblings.
No way. Look at this.
They were all his best friends.
But then the pandemic hit, forcing people into seclusion, and his mother noticed a change.
He would be laying in his bed all day, and then he would disappear into the night. Left our
Disappear into the night? When the Idaho 4 students were murdered, it was late at night.
house and told us he was going to stay with friends, but he was actually living in his car.
It's a scenario which research suggests may be more common since the pandemic.
I interact with families all the time who have a loved one who's basically disappeared or partially disappeared. They're in touch occasionally.
Bethany Yeiser runs a nonprofit to help people with schizophrenia after her own psychotic episode and living homeless for 4 years.
I had a wonderful childhood growing up with a loving family, and I completely cut them off. I really believe if I hadn't been hospitalized for schizophrenia, I would have never gotten in touch with them again.
He asked what the watermelon drink was made out of. I said organic cane sugar and watermelon.
In Dane's case, there have been a series of reported sightings, first in Bakersfield, then Mojave, then Northern California, where a woman says she bought him food at this Taco Bell in Oakdale.
He was a younger gentleman, probably in his early 20s, nice looking, but a little scruffy because he'd been traveling on the road for a while. He was very polite and he said thank you and he was well spoken.
In April 2022, on the Santa Cruz Wharf, where a young mother and her son were approached by a man who looked like Dane.
He was super nice. He seemed a little scared of the government. So I gave him a $20 bill, and as I was leaving, I heard him order a water and a taco.
Deborah Elkins is confident it was her son.
All the credible sightings, Dane accepted food and he was very polite and kind. And he specifically asked for bottled water, which he loves bottled cold water.
But in all these years, no verifiable photos or video and no contact from Dane. His mom now focused on building a following on social media in hopes the kindness of strangers will help find her son.
I am hoping everybody is keeping an eye out for him, and I hear about it in real time so I could get to him before he leaves the area. If you are able to take a discrete photo or video so we can identify him, that will be very helpful.
Dane's younger brother, Cody, now following in his brother's champion footsteps and hoping they'll get to play together one day.
I never stood a chance as a kid, but, I'd like...
And the more I share of what was going on with Dane, the more chance somebody is going to put two and two together and come forward with another credible sighting.
To that point, Deborah, if somebody does come across Dane, you don't necessarily want them to say his name or to draw attention to it. Why and what should they do?
So if Dane is still in this state of paranoia, if they were to go, "Are you Dane?" that would reinforce that the government is after him, that a complete stranger knows who he is. So I just want someone to be really kind, maybe offer a cold bottle of water. He loves cold bottled water. And strike up a conversation, ask him his story, ask him if he needs help. And that way they can share that story with me. Most importantly, there are so many lookalikes. We get so many false sightings. There
we go. There are so many lookalikes.
So many men out there like Dane, is to get that discreet photo or record his voice, because
I wonder if anybody called her and was like, oh my God, I think your son was just arrested in the Idaho 4 killings.
There are so many people with the same situation living off the grid that have left their families. So we have not had absolute proof that it's Dane, and that is what we need to know, that he's safe and it's really him.
He's got a kind heart. He's a good person. He's got a really extensive back.
I mean, yeah, he's a really good looking dude. Where are any girls that dated him? Did he have any mental health going up and until 2020? You know what I mean? Just, yeah, I mean, woo. This is wild. Wild.
Background in a lot of different things, including he's got a black belt. He was that racquetball champion. I'm wondering, he's more vulnerable because of the insecurities and the paranoia that he's dealing with.
Son is, they can end my nightmare. And find her brother, Brian. Her name's Bethany, and her brother, Brian, is missing. And I was helping her, and I told her, you need to come to TikTok. I will show you how to have these boxes. I had 10 people in my live, and I was like, why does she have 1,000 and I have 10? I've been doing this for 2 years. And as soon as you turn your live into a TikTok shop, the first time I did that, I had 20,000 people come through in 3 minutes compared to 1,000. So TikTok shop is the new QVC, Amazon. You're not allowed to say those words on your live. And it's like having a commercial. So I started selling like luggage, and I got a violation right away for using a green screen of Dane. So now I'm very careful how you are not allowed to redirect traffic when you are a commercial for a product. So I am selling luggage, for instance, and I will tell everybody, we have an episode on Paramount Plus, Never Seen Again, season 4, episode 3. It's on my bio. It is the most watched episode because passively I redirect everybody when they say what happened to go watch the episode or watch the NewsNation story. So if I'm selling the luggage and there's 300 people in the room, I tell them all, I cannot tell you to go watch the episode in the bio. And I could show the screen really quick. And I can.
She's a NewsNation's gonna she's teaching everybody how to get past the tricks of the trade. Welcome everybody to Truth and Transparency. You guys, I have no problem putting it out there. So Scott Roeder and I are on the same page here as of right now. Scott Roeder calls me up. He's like, girl, this dude, Luigi, is innocent. He is not guilty. I said, shut up. He's like, I'm telling you. He's like, we got to talk about it. I got to talk to you about a couple things. So and then I went back and I was looking at some stuff that's been circulating. This kid has been missing before the Idaho 4 murders happened, before the CEO was shot.
Our house and told us he was going to stay with friends, but he was actually living in his car.
It's a scenario which research suggests may be more common since the pandemic.
Then they kill you.
Oh, right here. Listen to this. Who talks like this?
Answers.
Another thing that the CIA does, so they recruit you, right? And if you don't want to do whatever they want you to do, then they kill you.
New New footage of Dane Elkins, the day he disappeared, his last social media post.
Yeah, I just figured going public with this was crazy. They gave me a passport.
He did one last Snapchat and told us that the government was after him and our family. That is when we knew something was.
So did the mom ever go to like the CIA or like the FBI and say, this is what my son was saying? Okay. He's over here talking about the CIA. I'm not talking about the CIA. He's talking about the CIA. And then you look at his picture and you compare it to, I mean, he looks like literally, he looks like the guy that took his mask off at the hostel.
Bring Dane home. She will join us in a moment, but first, Dane's story is a reminder. For everyone about how mental illness can strike anywhere and anyone and the lengths to which families sometimes go for answers.
Another thing that the CIA does, so they recruit you, right? And if you don't want to do whatever they want you to do, then they kill you.
New footage of Dane Elkins, the day he disappeared, his last social media post.
Yeah, I just figured going public with this was crazy. They gave me a passport.
He did one last Snapchat and told us that the government was after him and our family. That is when we knew something was really wrong.
On December 21st, 2020, Dane called his mom from the highway saying it wasn't safe to come home.
One of the last things Dane said to me was, "It's not safe, Mom. Your life is in danger, Mom. There's targets on you and there's more targets on Dad."
Police found Dane's car along a mountainous section of highway. A flat tire, his wallet, cell phone, and computer still inside.
He left everything traceable in his car.
Before he vanished, Elkins was a 21-year-old engineering student at UC Santa Cruz. A black belt in karate and a racquetball champion. Winning 23 junior national titles in both doubles and singles competition. His coach, Cliff Swain.
That was an amazing pleasure to work with him. True gentleman, amazing manners, super hard worker.
Off the court, the funny family guy making silly music videos with his siblings.
His family meant everything to him. They weren't just his siblings, they were all his best friends.
But then the pandemic hit, forcing people into seclusion, and his mother noticed a change.
He would be laying in his bed all day, and then he would disappear into the night. Left our house and told us he was going to stay with friends, but he was actually living in his car.
It's a scenario which research suggests may be more common since the pandemic.
I interact with families all the time who have a loved one who.
All right, so wanted to bring this out here. I have no idea what's going on, but this boy, the things that he was saying on his video right before he, leaves. Talk about a passport, though. That was really interesting to hear. Like, they gave me a passport. Yeah. And there's been a couple, what the mom deems as credible sightings in Cali in 2022, but nothing since then. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know when he's saying that somebody gave him a passport. I mean, talking about the CIA, and then he looks just like. I mean, here, let's go look at these. Yep, loose curls versus tight curls. So I don't know. Luigi behavior is similar. It truly is, isn't it? Like they've had like the same kind of story here. Roughly about the same age, just a little bit apart. But they look like, I'm telling you, man. I want to go back to the pictures of like what they've put up on, at the hostel at, let's see. It's pretty wild. And then NewsNation. So obviously he's been missing since 2020, and NewsNation is just picking the story up. And I'm curious as to why. Why is NewsNation picking up this story all of a sudden? Anybody want to ask themselves that? So, why is NewsNation picking up this story all of a sudden? And I said my answer to that is his description. Because NewsNation is trying to free Luigi, baby. What's up, woman? What's up? What's up? I think it's because of what he looks like. I truly think that they're taking on this story. I'm not even playing because of what he looks like. I don't think that they would be talking about this story if he was black. I don't think they would be talking about this story if he, did not look like Luigi. And you know what? The moms over there probably like, I don't care why you're taking it up, but take it up, that's how I would be too. But then you got people like me, they're going to say, okay, well,
staying away from he loves his family. He's very close with his family, but it's the paranoia that's keeping Dane away. And I'm also hoping, thank you for this, that somebody who's talked to Dane comes forward and lets us know that he is safe. And the more I share of what
I would just think that the people that he would be hanging out with aren't watching the news. So that's just the unfortunate part. So
going on with Dane, the more chance somebody is going to put 2 and 2 together and come forward.
Well, I'm putting 2 and 2 together. Here you go. There you go.
With another credible sighting.
To that, did Luigi and this dude cross paths? Did they cross paths? I don't believe that the CEO shooter was taken out by just one person and no intelligence. I'm sorry. If Luigi is involved, I'm telling you, I don't care who is involved in shooting Thompson. They had intel. So what better way to try to take on something than to do something with someone that you look like? If these two got chatty Cathy with their paranoias. I don't even know. Who knows? They have the same damn story though. They look identical. Okay. And I'm just over here like, what? Why is NewsNation picking this up right now? This mom has probably reached out to so many people since 2020, right? And now NewsNation is picking this up literally right after the arrest of Luigi. How about this? How about this one? When the CEO shooter shot and killed Brian Thompson, did this mom say to herself, "Oh my God, that looks like it could be that looks like it could be Dane. Look at his eyes. Look at those brows. Oh my God, look at the, would you be thinking to yourself, oh my gosh?" So, and the reason I say that is, let's take a look. If you go and look at, again, the pictures that they were posting online, you know, because that'd be one way to get your story out there is I'm going to say that I think that could be my son. Okay. That looks like my son. Oh, wait, what do you mean? My son has been missing since 2020. That looks just like him. Right? That's one way to get your kids missing persons right up there in the damn, you know, hey. So let's take a look at something. Let's compare. Let's see. Okay, 1 year ago, NewsNation did this story a year ago. So hold on. Let's take a look at what. Okay. What the? What the heck just happened? Okay. Let's take a look at what NewsNation did a year ago. Get ready. This was 1 year ago.
Joining us this morning for NewsNation Live. In our missing series this morning, we are focusing our attention on the disappearance of a young engineering student from California. He was also a national racquetball champion. His name is Dane Elkins, and he has now been missing for more than 2 years. Dane disappeared in December of 2020, and his mother believes he had a psychotic break, pandemic-related potentially, and has been living off the grid, maybe with the homeless. Dane's story will be featured in an upcoming episode of Paramount's Never Seen Again, but his mom, Deborah, has launched an intense social media campaign. She is doing everything she can to make sure her son is seen again. And in a moment, Deborah will be joining us live to talk more about the case. But first, here's Dane's story.
This is the last known video of Dane Elkins.
How much of the knowledge that we know actually comes from actual knowledge?
A rambling post the day he disappeared.
He did one last Snapchat and told us that the government was after him and our family. That is when we knew something was really wrong.
Before he vanished, Elkins was a 21-year-old engineering student at UC Santa Cruz. A black belt in karate and a racquetball champion. Winning 23 junior national titles in both doubles and singles competition. His coach, Cliff Swain.
That was an amazing pleasure to work with him. True gentleman, amazing manners, super hard worker.
Off the court, the funny family guy making silly music videos with his siblings.
His family meant everything to him. They weren't just his siblings, they were all his best friends.
But then the pandemic hit, forcing people into the seclusion, and his mother noticed a change.
He would be laying in his bed all day, and then he would disappear into the night. Left our house and told us he was going to stay with friends, but he was actually living in his car.
On December 21st, 2020, Dane called his mom from the highway, saying it wasn't safe to come home.
One of the last things Dane said to me was, "It's not safe, Mom. Your life is in danger, Mom. There's targets on you."
Okay.
And there's more targets on Dad.
Okay, so this picture, so I think he looks like Luigi, but this picture right here,
It's not safe, Mom.
I think he could look like Brian Kohlberger's twin. Like, you guys, right there, you tell me that doesn't look like Brian Kohlberger. It does look like Brian Kohlberger to me. What do you guys think in chat? That picture right there. What do you think? Right there. They be browing, baby. You don't understand. Not only are they browing, but they got those eyes. And so this is nuts, y'all. This is nuts. Don't tell me that does not look like BK in that picture. I think it does. They're like the same height, 5'11", 6 foot. Can his parents turn in some DNA on him so we can compare it to the unknown samples in the house? Can we compare these unknown male DNAs that are in the Idaho 4 house? I mean, Dylan, if you put him in a lineup, you put Luigi in a lineup, and you put Mr. BK, Brian Koberger, in a lineup, and I want to see somebody pick out who was the perpetrator. Yeah, we're gonna need that DNA, okay? Let's just take a peek. He's also a vegan. This guy's a vegan too. So we would have 3 vegans. You know, the guy that did he said he has a smaller top lip and a bigger underlip that matches like the what the guy that was comparing Luigi. So we got all 3 of them are vegans. But I'm like, wait, doesn't Luigi eat McDonald's? How can he be a vegan and eat McDonald's? So, so whatever, people can just. But this came out a year ago, so now we have to ask ourselves this: a year ago, this was put out there. Then, literally, Luigi is arrested, and they want to put this back up there. I don't know. Let's see. I want the exact date of this. NewsNation. Let's see. When did NewsNation do this? A year ago, but March 3rd, 2023, literally right after Brian Koberger was arrested. He was arrested in January. Well, December 29th, 30th, whatever. March 3rd. They're saying that Dane disappeared in December of 2020, so it was right before 2021. Yeah. And then he was talking about that he was going to, where was it? He wanted to go to Oregon. Didn't we have a stabbing in Oregon? And his mom was like, I don't believe that he went to Oregon, though. I believe that he's just in some small area in California. So, anyways, I think I just think it's interesting that NewsNation wanted to bring this story back up. NewsNation, like the media just loves to pump it. I'm just surprised this didn't come up at a different time. Just here right after the arrest of. I think I would have seen if I was a parent miss my kid. Let's see. I'm gonna go like this. I want to compare. And they basically did the same story. They just, replayed it, added the interview with his mom. A year ago, 2 hours ago, they did another update on the NewsNation story. 3 years ago, missing student Dane Elkins possibly seen in Kern River Valley. Let's take a look at this one. This is from KGET News. Let's see. This is from 3 years ago.
It has now been more than 5 months since college student and 23-time world racquetball champion Dane Elkins was reported missing. But tonight, possible sightings right here in Kern County have given his family and the greater community renewed hope. 17's Eitan Wallace in studio now with more on that, plus what you should do if you see Dane Elkins. Eitan.
Jim, good evening. This is 22-year-old Dane Elkins. He was reported missing north of Castaic last December after he became mentally distressed, possibly due to the pandemic. Now, in January, there were possible sightings of him in Bakersfield, and more recently, we reported about a possible sighting in Mojave. Well, fast forward to the last few weeks, Dane's mom says there have been several possible sightings in the
What the hell is going on with this? Unbelievable.
area.
I really strongly believe he's in the Kern River Valley area. Many different people.
Isabella area. Elkins in the greater Lake Isabella.
Look at that. Look at that. That is totally the guy smiling and looking like if you cover up, oh my goodness, you take that and you cover up everything minus his eyebrows and you keep his eyes. Those are the eyes looking at you in the cab. And that is what I see when I see that picture at the hostel. This is what I see at the hostel. Nobody is changing this. This is insanity. Okay. The guy in the cab 100. I mean, come on. Look at if you cut off here and here, everything up. All right. This is insane.
Isabella area.
I really strongly believe he's in the Kern River Valley area.
I want to see this one again. I want to know how much they enhanced that video with when he took his mask down. And also think about this. This is a guy that was living and left during the pandemic. Okay. Masking it all over. But the guy, supposedly everything that guy was wearing, those are all really, really expensive things. I mean, how does this kid have any money?
I really strongly believe he's in the Kern River Valley area. Many different people have had.
I think he has light eyes. Yeah. See, like right there, his eyes look brown. But look at this. His eyes definitely are light. Look at this, though. It's also like, when was this picture taken? Maybe they just touched up is this like what kind of picture is this? Is this like what is this from? Like, who airbrushed this? You can see, like, I mean, there's no wrinkle. Is this even this kid? Who is this? I mean, it's easy to change your eye color. It's contacts. You know, it's just, that's simple, so simple to me. But I'm just like, you look at this photo right here. This is totally airbrushed, though. You could see the difference. Like, look at by his eyes. They took the wrinkles out. Okay. Like, look at the lighting over here by the, right here. Look at that. Just like totally just blotched out. So Scott Roder's gonna be doing a live with me. We were talking. He's like, Lana, Luigi is not guilty. I like fell over my chair because we usually see like we have a lot of difference of opinions, but we value each other's work. And so I said, get out of here. He's like, oh, not guilty, innocent. He's like, we have to talk. I think some of the big holes in the case are one, the national media picked it up in lockstep and are all saying the same thing and prosecuting him before he even goes to trial, or the evidence is officially submitted. And two, there's major inconsistencies in the idea that his jacket was found where. Yeah. So, anyways. Very, very interesting. Wait here.
We've had so many sightings, but not one picture.
Oh, wait, I'll go back.
Have had different experiences with him in this area. We've had so many sightings, but not one picture. And so I am asking the community and anybody in the area, if you see Dane, please take a discreet picture. It's almost certainly him, but we just need a picture. We just need documentation. We just want to be sure.
Now, here's what connects the sighting to the one.
Okay, there you go. There's some pretty close up there.
One in Mojave earlier this year. Now, during that sighting, the person believed to be Dane Elkins said he was traveling to Oregon. Well, at least 2 people in the Kern River Valley, according to Dane's mother, have now reported the same thing. Now, anyone who may see Elkins or who may have information of his whereabouts is encouraged to join the Facebook group Searching for Dane Elkins. It has over 5,000 members.
How many members does it have now? Remember that, guys, this was 3 years ago. I just wanted to compare the different.
Witnesses are also asked to text or call 562-504-6005 or email a picture or video of Dane to Searching for Dane Elkins.
Okay. All right. Murky says, I still can't get past why would Luigi have a backpack with all that stuff in it? Someone just walk up and give it to him to carry around. Just honestly wondering. No, everyone deserves a presumption of innocence. He's just simply saying his opinion of Brian Kober is that he's guilty, but he still deserves to be presumed innocent. And his opinion on this is that Luigi is presumed innocent, but he believes that he is innocent. So that's his only difference, is that everyone in Scott's eyes deserves to be presumed innocent. His opinion is that Brian Kober is guilty. But Luigi, presumed innocent, but his opinion is that he is innocent. So, and I was interested into wondering why he believed in his innocence, you know, when you want to talk about the overwhelming, if you want to talk about overwhelming evidence that supposedly is against this man, you know, why would Scott feel that way? Right? Just like, and that's when I have to say, like, well, in the Kohlberger case, what evidence truly is there? And when you take your information from mainstream media, anybody that's arrested is fucking guilty, you know? When you take your information from mainstream media, you would think that everybody that gets arrested is guilty. And that's just facts. You know, mainstream media doesn't go against the narrative of who? The prosecution, the police, you know? So But I'm not here to defend Mr. Roeder and his opinions or his way of thinking or whatever. It's not on me. But if I see something that I know that I can correct, I would highlight it and correct it. So I saw something that I could correct, and so I did. But are you trying to tell me that every cop in the tri-state area was carrying a burner gun? Or you mean burner phone? I don't know what a burner gun is. You mean a ghost gun? So, oh. Okay, done. I think that should work. Yeah, oh, a throwaway gun? You mean like they're calling a ghost gun? Who keeps a gun? Who keeps the gun? A ghost gun they trace immediately. Yeah. The homeboy got away with it. Whoever did this got away with it. Think about that. Whoever did this got away with it. Okay? That's how I felt about the Brian Colbert case. That's how I feel about the Idaho 4 case. Is that whoever killed those 4 students, they essentially got away with it. And then this miraculous, okay, we're going to go and arrest this person and work backwards, but lie on stuff in a probable cause. Yeah. Because you had to. Because you can't, there ain't nobody you're arresting in that case. In this CEO shooting, whoever did it got away with it. Delphi, I feel the same way. Whoever did it got away with it. Karen Reed's situation is just completely different because that's just so obvious. Because you mean you're just having he said, she said right now. Okay. The players in the Karen Reed case are never going to change. So that's why I just think that that's a little bit different. And the reason I believe Karen Reed's version of events is because that's where the evidence takes me. That doesn't mean that I believe Karen Reed, and it doesn't mean that I don't believe them. The evidence takes me to Karen Reed is innocent. So, woohoo! But we're going to keep an eye, guys. We're definitely going to keep a very, very close eye on what happens in this Dane Elkins situation. Why they're covering it again right here after the arrest of Luigi. And is it as cut and dry as they say with the CEO shooting? It will not be cut and dry for me until we find out how Luigi, if he's the dude, how did he know where Brian Thompson was staying? You answer me that question, and you can start breaking down my walls with that. I want to know how Luigi knew where Brian Thompson was staying. I want to see some surveillance of him following homeboy Thompson between the time that Thompson got off a plane and was in New York. Okay. Backtrack all of Thompson's movements. Look on those cameras. See if you spot Luigi. All right. How did Luigi know where Brian Thompson was staying? It should be so easy to figure that out if you are the police with all of the resources that you have. And if you can't figure that out, then that's a big problem for me. So, now they did release the names of the 3 women that were shot and killed in Columbus. I was back down there. I'm going back down there today. And the cops are all still over there. They are claiming the guy that they arrested in connection with shooting and eventually Daryl died from his gunshot wounds, that they don't believe that he killed the 3 girls. And they are claiming right now that there is still a killer on the loose here in Columbus, the South Side. With that said, I've reached out to some people that know some people that run the Toolbox. It's a bar over there because they have surveillance cameras. And I'm simply inquiring if the police came by the Toolbox to get their surveillance cameras. I should have that answer today. If they say no, they didn't, then I'm going to ask if Toolbox would release to me some footage if we can find anything with suspicious vehicles, suspicious people, if there's even still camera footage available. That surveillance camera looked like it was pretty decent in the terms of that. I believe that footage would be around for at least 30 days. So we got some time. So, but I'm going to throw my 50th at the Toolbox. You should. Isn't that just a great name for a gay bar? The Toolbox. I think it's fucking hilarious. It's been around forever. So those of you guys that see or have any information, the latest in the Letcher County. Okay. Letcher County. His name is Clark. I believe it's Mark Clark or Clark. I'm going to be putting it out there soon. This pastor is passing around videos of him sending and soliciting. He's sending naked pics, naked like little videos of him and his little wee-wee. Okay. Women are receiving somebody that claims to be a pastor. You guys can't make this up. So, did we call Letcher County from the jump or what? Sure did. Anyways, if anybody wants to know about that, there you go. But I'll be back. I have all my lives that were still scheduled, that they are going to be happening. We're obviously just dealing with a lot over here. So confirmed little. All right, guys, we'll see you on the flip side. Peace out. Oh, make sure you guys like the video, share it, but also go check out the community page, the tab, the community tab, and read the latest update in the Brian Drake Moore case. Enjoy that read. It's very, very informative. Bye-bye. Thank you, moderators.